Boys and girls, today we get to practice writing an informative or explanatory essay in which we explain the different ways camouflage helps animals survive. So what it's really asking us to do is write at least one paragraph, making sure to introduce our topic, use information from our text, and end with a conclusion. Now when I look up here, the word camouflage stuck out to me. So we need to figure out ways in which animals camouflage, and remember that meant blending in. This means we need to check back in our readings for information. So you had the story, Animal Tools for Survival, but we also have another text that we're going to read today, and we're going to use both of those to pull out information about animals and how they camouflage. So let's read this together in 3, 2, 1. All animals have traits that help them survive. One special trait that many animals use is called camouflage. Camouflage is the ability to hide by blending into an environment. Ooh, that's information I need to remember, right? It comes right from our text. It helps some animals known as predators hunt for food. It helps other animals known as prey avoid being eaten by predators. Camouflage is important to the survival of many predators. According to Animal Disguises, the stonefish has a body shape and color that make it look just like another rock on the ocean floor. With the help of this camouflage, stonefish hide in the sand and then grab and eat their prey as it passes by. Another animal that uses camouflage to hunt is the cheetah. Cheetahs live in areas known as savannas that have a lot of tall, yellow grass. The cheetah's spotted yellow coat allows it to blend in with its grass and sneak up on its prey. Without this camouflage, these animals might not be able to get the food they need to survive. So we're going to use that Animal Tools for Survival that we read yesterday and the story that we read the first week, or not the first week, but, well, it was the first week, but last week, called Animal Disguises. Okay, we're going to use those to write together. And I'm going to do a model of what it should look like, but yours should not look the same as mine, okay? So we always start with an introduction. So I'm going to say, in the stories we read called, and you always put quotation marks around titles of short stories. We read Animal Disguises, and I'm going to make a list, so I need to do a comma. And then our next story was Animal Tools for Survival, Animals Tools for Survival. And the mentor, the text I read you is just called a mentor text. We learned, what did we learn about camouflage? Camouflage. What did we learn? Are you thinking in your head? Are you thinking what it might mean? What did it tell us it meant? I'm not sure, so I'm going to go back to my text. And I noticed in the 1, 2, 3rd sentence it says, camouflage is the ability to hide by blending into an environment. So we learned that camouflage means an animal can blend into their environment. You'll notice what I wrote down is not exactly what the text is saying, because if you take it directly from the text, that's called plagiarism, and it's a big no-no. You have to put it into your own words. So far we have in the stories we read called Animal Disguises. Oh, I forgot quotation marks around this one. Animal Tools for Survival, and the mentor text, we learned that camouflage means an animal can blend into their environment. So there's our introduction. So what would you say after that? I'm going to go back and look at our directions again. So now it said after the introduction, we need relevant facts and details from Animal Disguises and the video Camouflage Creatures. And you will have watched the video. If you went to Benchmark like you were supposed to yesterday, we had the video on there. So if you need to stop this one and go back to Monday to watch it, you can. Relevant facts. Relevant just means it makes sense with the topic. So because we're talking about camouflage, we're not all of a sudden going to say, and my favorite type of bubble gum is the red one. We're going to keep to the topic. That's what this means. So I'm going to put, I always like to say, for example. And what did we learn about? We learned about the stonefish has scales that look like rocks and helps it blend into the bottom of the. What other animals did we read about? What other animals did we read about? Didn't we read about, oh, I'm going to go right back to my text. We read about a polar bear. And it didn't tell us much, but it did say, I'm looking at animal disguises, it did say their white fur blends with the snow and ice. I'm going to put also a polar bear has white fur, help it blend in into the snow and ice. This helps it not only survive, but also hunt its. Okay. Those are some good examples. Let me go back to my directions. Then it says a conclusion. So now we're going to put into a conclusion. So that's where you just take all your information and kind of put it all together. And I'm going to say camouflage is one of the ways in which an animal can survive. Like with the polar bear and stonefish, helps an animal by providing cover that mimics or mimics its physical. Remember, we learned about physical features. Okay, I noticed when I was typing that a red line came under camouflage, and I know in my brain that that means that I probably spelled it wrong. So I went right click, and then when I went up to the top, it had it spelled the right way. So, and like its, I think I probably did the wrong its. Let's go fix its. So our writing's all correct. So now we've got our first little informative essay we wrote, which is only one paragraph, but we followed all the directions, right? So now it's your turn. Without copying exactly what I did, you are going to write your own. So I'm going to put now, write your own informative essay. And I'm not going to tell you to end with one paragraph. That's up to you. So if you need to put a new slide in here because you have more information and there's not enough space, you go up to slide and then you click new slide and it will go down below and then you can type in there. Okay. So just because I only put one here doesn't mean you only need to fill one. Okay. So that's what we're doing for writing today.